Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Get Lit While Getting Lit. I'm your host, Tommy. This is my channel, Tommy Calloway. Let me know if you can hear me okay. And while you let me know if you can hear me okay, I'm going to pour this. Oh, got to turn that guy on. There we go. All right, time to get lit. Well, we're getting lit. Oh, we're coming in hot with the original bow. Thank you for the first super chat that I've ever had. I just turned those on right now. Thank you. Thank you for the perfect sound comment. Appreciate that. Bo, really appreciate that, man. That was really cool. And we got the slider cam on there again. So I went for a little bit of a different angle. I really wanted to kind of emphasize all the different little things I've been using in this stream. So what do you guys think of that whiskey shot there? I think that was pretty cool. So you guys can see where I'm at, so you guys can try and keep up. And back here, you guys can see that I clearly need a haircut, and I'm using the OC monitor for my monitoring purposes. You guys, this thing is completely wireless. Sorry about that. And it's freaking awesome. Like, oh, man. See, the problem with having everything on wheels is sometimes I forget to lock it all down. And I just moved my whole lighting setup. All right. That looks good. All right, so let's, before we get all crazy in here and things start getting too much fun, let's talk about the lighting setup we've got going here today. But also, the whiskey is Bullet Bourbon, again, because of COVID. You know, I didn't want to go out and get more whiskey. And of course, this thing is still like almost full. So we're going to drink that for probably a couple weeks. If you guys want to send me scotch, I will drink it on the stream and I will say your name and I'll say thank you. I think that's going to be a new thing that we're going to do. We're going to share. It's going to be fun. All right, so let's talk about the lights. Today, I'm using the Lupo Super Panel Full Color 60 Soft. And obviously, I would want to emphasize the grids that I'm using because of this week's video was on grids from DOP Choice. We've got the grid on the Lupo panel over there. It's providing me some soft light, and I wanted to keep things a little bit moody this time. And the reason I have it positioned where it is to create this nice line of contrast between the LED Go or LED Go, however you want to pronounce the name of that company, their new altitubes. I've got one there, and they actually come with their own grid. I don't have the DOP Choice grid, but I do have a Honey Crates grid, and that I'm gonna review that and talk a little bit about the difference between those styles of grids. Honey Crate grids are the hexagonal style grids, and DOP Choice are cuboid grids. We got some comments in here. Thank you, Original Bo again. Quasnick Pictures, let's go. Thanks for showing up. The quality of the stream is unreal. Aw, well, thank you so much. I'll drink to that. And then we got Dark Knight with an idea. Yes, you're being heard. Thank you. Thank you for checking in. Brad Fogel, you're back. Night Owl. Yeah, well, you know, when you work like 12-hour days and you're only freed up at about 10 at night, that's what's going to happen. And man, did I turn that camera off? Jeez. All right, one second, guys. Oh, okay, sorry about that. Some of these cameras, you have to actually hit record before it's going to do its thing. Some of the cameras, you don't. With a Nikon Z6, if you don't hit record, it turns itself off. With the X-T3, which is what I've got going on with the whiskey shot here, if you don't hit record, it turns itself off. I'm sure it's probably configurable. But with the GH5, it stays on forever until the battery dies. All right. Back to where we were. Bullet Rye, nice. Thank you, sir. Brad Fogel, I'll hang out listening. It's bedtime for you anyways. Cool, man. I'll sing you to sleep. All right, what other lights do we got going on in here today for this setup? Well, I have the Aperture Nova, of course. That's giving me the nice green background over there. And actually, I forgot to turn on one more light that is kind of important to this stream. Is the 120D Mark II behind a parabolic softbox there. And that kind of emphasizes everything that we've got going on behind me. Without it, it's just kind of, everything kind of fades into darkness. And the reason I have the lights set up the way that they're currently set up is, so I've got this one tube light here with a grid on it, and that grid is making it so the light doesn't spill everywhere, and it doesn't spill into the main A cam here and create a whole bunch of nasty lens flare. Because so if I have this pointing just a little bit more that way, you're going to see a lot of flare, and I'll demonstrate that now. There we go. And it's just, you know, kind of get that whole flare. So if you don't have a grid on a light when you're using it, like when it's almost facing the camera, you just get kind of a lens flare effect. And sometimes you'll get weird, undesirable lines on the lenses and stuff. I want to avoid that. And so if you're wondering why your images look really soft and you've got great lighting or something, maybe just make sure that your light is not going into your lens. And so when I have it positioned right there, it creates this nice blade of light that gives me this beautiful little outline. It also outlines this microphone here and separates it from the background. Whiskey time. And then over here with the Lupo Super Panel, full color 60. Let's see, where am I looking? It's also creating this fill, and also, you know, it in combination with the altitude, the Alta tube from LEDGO. So watch, if I move this Lupo panel over in front of the camera, right there, like a normal fill light, I mean, it's a lot more, you know, what you would expect someone to use their lights like, you know, so you can kind of fill up the whole image and have, you know, nice, beautiful, soft lighting and everything. But I don't want that. I want the dark, moody, emphasized shadows and everything. We got some comments in here. Slider action. Thank you, Barista MD. Loving that slider action. Gray Dylan. Great setup. You do any consulting for streamers? Really like the slider setup. You know what? I will do a lot of things for money. If you want to pay me to teach you how to stream, you know, go right ahead. Ask a question, do a super chat. We'll call that a consultation. How's that sound? Brad Fogel, I wouldn't call that flare, more like a glare effect, but directed to the face looks nice as you say. Thank you. Or maybe instead of glare, I'd say a light bloom effect. Yeah, you know, we can call it a light bloom effect. Not a streamer, just curious. Hey, you know, ask away. This is my like second all-time stream ever. Well, maybe the third. The first one was last week, and I think the beta stream was the week before last week, where I was just trying to figure out how this all works. I am going to do a video, I think, pretty soon on my whole streaming setup and how I've got everything kind of levitating off of my desk, so I can just kind of pull my desk out if I need to, which I do frequently. But now that we're past the lights that I'm using for this particular stream, we're going to get into the meat of today's conversation. We're going to talk about avoiding toxic business on YouTube. And that is a huge problem that a lot of people, myself included, have fallen into in the past. I got some notes here because I'll probably get off track. And if, you know, you might find yourself needing to have a drink with me if you're in any of these situations. So the first thing is the Amazon review system that so many companies are trying to do these days. And that's where when a company emails you and they say, hey, we have this product on Amazon, all you have to do is buy it and then review it, and then we'll send you, you know, a refund or whatever. That is a very common thing that happens with the tech reviewers in this kind of, you know, filmmaking space and industry. Don't do it. Don't ever do it. One, it's against Amazon's terms of service. So if you get caught doing something like that, then your Amazon account can get banned. Two, you basically are at the mercy of these companies to get your money back, and it feels less ethical. You are less incentivized to be honest and more incentivized to kind of god over the product and how amazing it is because you want to get your money back because you've got skin in the game already. It's such a sketchy thing. It feels awful when you do it. And I wouldn't ever recommend anyone engage in those type of things. If a company sees that you have a channel of people that are watching content that you're creating, you're interested in it, and your audience is interested in your content, they shouldn't have to, if they want their product reviewed on your channel, they should just send it to you to review it and be honest. And if it's a good product, that's generally what companies will do, instead of holding your refund ransom. So don't ever engage in those type of things. It's really awful. And I've stopped doing that a long time ago. Of course, when I got started, I wanted free stuff and I thought that was awesome and I did it. I've deleted most of those videos off of my channel. It's just not a good feeling. 2, we've got pushy contracts. So then there's also the companies that, they'll send you a contract. You'll have an exchange over email. You'll talk to them about what are you going to review? What are the terms? Cool. And then they'll send you a contract with so many things in it that it just doesn't even make any sense why it would be in there. Like you need to produce 10 images for Instagram and social media, and we get all the original assets, and you have to send us the original files, no watermarks, make sure you don't put any music in them. This stuff happens in contracts. So if you get a contract like that, 1, don't sign it. 2, change the contract to what you're comfortable with. You can open it up and change all the wording and just make it something like, no, I will make a video. That's it. It's going on my channel. You may not repost it on YouTube. And then sign that and send it back, and then you'll be okay. In fact, that's something that I did recently. There was a thing that I really wanted to review, and I had an exchange with the representative at the company. They reached out to me and we talked, and then I modified the contract, signed it and sent it back, and then they're good with it. They have these all-inclusive terms because they want to, if they're going to send you something, they just want their dollars to go so far and take advantage of creators. It's just what they do. You got Brad here. Brad says, I remember there was an Amazon early reviewer program, but I don't know if that still exists or if it just didn't take off. I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. We got MCNs. Who has experience with MCNs? Man. MCNs are the bane of YouTube existence. If an MCN ever reaches out to you, just ignore the emails. Block them. It's junk mail. An MCN, all they do is they basically sign your channel onto their network, and then they take a percentage of your AdSense revenue, and then that's it. There's literally no reason to have an MCN anymore. Previously, a long time ago, several years ago, there was an advantage to having an MCN. They would have like a big, huge library of music that you could license or whatever. But that's no longer a requirement for a channel. You can get music really cheap and really easily. Personally, I use Artlist. You don't have to use Artlist, but that's the best one, in my opinion. I've got experience with several music networks, but an MCN, I don't even think they still exist, do they? If anyone knows, maybe they do, but I just wanted to put that in here in case anyone is like considering joining an MCN. That's the wrong thing to do for the progress of your growth. And then the next kind of toxic business relationship is something that I'm dealing with today, and that is licensed content. So a long time ago, I made some more like viral type videos that weren't just like filmmaker stuff. And they went viral really quickly. And then, Storyful contacted me. They wanted to license the content. And then, so I did, because cool, $350. That sounds great. I don't get paid anything for these videos. That was when I was still pretty small. I'm still small in my opinion, but regardless, I licensed it out, $300 or whatever. And then 2, 3, 4 years later now, because I had like 5 to 25 videos on my channel that all shared the same outro that just used YouTube regular, music from their free audio library. And then it was just like a clip of a bunch of things that I did up to that point. It was just like a 30-second outro. I licensed one video to them, and now they're claiming like 10 or 15 videos on my channel from so long ago saying that that's their content. They're trying to claim copyright on those things. And so, of course, I sent back all the counter copyright claims saying that's not the content they licensed. That's, against the sentiment of, the contract. And all those, those copyright claims were refuted and taken away and fixed and everything. But I had to deal with that, and it was extremely frustrating. So don't license any of your content. If some company wants to pay you $300 to, get the rights to your videos, don't ever sell them. It may be worth it to you, right? You may think that it's worth it right now at this very moment, but you're going to be losing out on the future, and your future of your channel, if it ever becomes something for you, it becomes a career choice. You don't want to have any of those things looming in the distance. Next, we got some comments here before we go into the next one. Jake Sloan showed up. Thank you for showing up, my friend. Nope, it's pretty late. I know you're up there in Alaska, probably freezing. Thank you for showing up, man. Appreciate it. Your stream was great, by the way. Go subscribe to Jake Sloan. He does awesome content in Alaska and films glaciers and stuff. Very cool stuff. He just shared a really cool story about how he got his drone and his GoPro back. I'm not going to spoil his story. You'll have to go watch his videos. Brad says region blocking because thus spoke Zareth, I can't pronounce that, is still copyrighted in a couple countries beyond U.S. copyright expiration. Man, that's terrible. GDR Riley, YouTube's copyright has so many issues. You know what it does, but I really like the Copyright Studio as a creator. When it shows, when people are uploading all my videos, I can quickly, determine that's my video. Why are you stealing it? Click and I'm done. It's a lot better than it used to be. It used to be way worse. All right, guys, time for a sip. Yeah. Let's go back over here. The next and last thing that I had on my list for avoiding toxic businesses is you need to just value yourself. When you are communicating with businesses and you're trying to determine what's your price, how much are you going to work for whatever this relationship is? What is this relationship worth to you? That can be a tough one depending on how big your channel is or what the quality of your production is. But you need to always value yourself first. If you need to break it down, you can break down how many hours it's going to take you to make a video and how many dollars you need to make per hour to make it make sense to you. That's one way to break it down. Another way to break it down is, just $1,000 a video, have a flat rate price. And then when that becomes not worth your time anymore, raise your price. You got to find your equilibrium. For me, it's if there is something that I want to review, and because like I said before, and many of you guys already know this about me, is I don't derive a financial livelihood from my channel. So it's not about, it's not about getting a paycheck, and it's not that I'm not going to sell the gear after I have it. But for me, I want to have an easy time receiving whatever equipment I'm supposed to review and play with and tell you guys about. But I don't want to be beholden to that piece of gear. I don't want to have to send a million digital assets and give them my creative work. The thing that the company is investing in me by sending me this equipment or whatever is the exposure to my audience and my professional experience and, my critique and my feedback. They don't deserve anything else. They didn't pay for it, right? This is a free exchange. This is a hobby. If I had a contract that said you guys are going to give me $40,000 and I'm going to create a bunch of digital media for you, then yeah, that's something that I'd probably be really interested in as a professional. But as a hobby for my YouTube channel, I value my own time significantly more than most other companies value my time. So when I get all these spam emails saying, hey, we just came out with XYZ light of some kind that, is basically a $30 knockoff of a super other cheap light. And it's just, it's in the middle of, it's in the middle of production in China right now, and it's like a piece of garbage. And they also offered to sell me a jade roller. They're not going to value my time, but my default response to companies like that is, okay, cool. $25,000 or, just some ridiculous number. Because then they'll start negotiating and be realistic. And that's like trying to just get rid of them. But if they're actually serious and they want to work with people, maybe I can create some actual digital assets, not for my channel because it's probably unrelated, but that usually weeds out all the spam. And I've never had anyone reply and say, yeah, I'll send you $25,000, because it's just my way of telling these companies that I value my time a lot more than you value my time. So stop wasting it. I don't know. That's just kind of my perspective on trying to avoid toxic businesses. And really, you just need to value yourself and your own time a lot more than anyone else does, because no one values your time more than you do until you make it worth something. All right, we got some comments here. Let's see. Jake says the copyright stuff in studio is really nice. Agreed. Yeah, the bottle light. I had a light down here, but I think that maybe it died. I didn't have it charged all the way. I'm not really allowed to talk about it, so let's get it out of there. So, sorry about that. The bottle light was only for the first part of the stream. See, we got GDR Relly here. It says, guilty first, ask questions later. Yes, I agree with that statement. Scapo, man, angles on angles. Backside angles, offset, profile angles, angles just for the bourbon. Nice. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, exclusivity or content ownership comes at a premium. I don't hand off ownership of content without hella payouts. A good chunk of my income has come from licensing deals. Owning rights is key. I totally agree with that. Your assets and your media, your digital files, your content, that is your product. You need to own it, Don't give it away. That's valuable. Companies are trying to send you stuff because they want it. But, that is your time is your money. So don't give it away. Curtis Judd in the house and Aaron Pericki. I think I pronounced that right. Thank you guys for showing up. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. You guys have the best content. Aside from mine, of course. I'm kidding. If you guys haven't heard of Curtis Judd, he is the audio master, and where I actually learned how to process audio from watching his videos. Skeeter Jones, thank you for showing up, my friend. Let's see, let's try and scroll back up and catch up here. Topic Ruben, hey Tommy, nice to be here. Cheers to you. Of course, cheers. Always with the cheers, everybody. Thank you. Got one of those. Let's see, Photo Joseph. Oh, he's back. Tommy, we're totally dragging you back into the alley after this show. Well, that'll be fine. We can play poker or something. What else we got? Photo Joseph is now exchanging comments with other people. Excellent. And Nils Codes. We got all the regulars showing up. Thank you guys. Thank you, by the way, everyone, for showing up to the stream. This is just kind of an experiment for me, and I think I like it so far. Unfolding Ideas. Wow, the stream is the who's who of reviewers. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Who's who. I'm going to start calling myself that now. Griffin Conway. What's up, Tommy? You and Curtis both have amazing lighting and audio content. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And Curtis Judd says sounding good. That's all I could hope for with the audio. Curtis, I'm using the MKH416 with the Mix Pre 3 Mark II and noise assist at 5 decibels because I got my air conditioner popping on and off all the time. And that really cuts it out. Really like that plugin. Let's see. Scott Waldron, he pops out in an emoji. Nice emoji. Appreciate that one. Tommy missed the point there. Dragging into the back alley wasn't a compliment. Photo Joseph, it was a compliment. And that's what I'm taking it as. Suits me well. Content Creators Experiment. Thank you. Hey, this guy is actually the one that made the shirt that I'm wearing and sent it out to me through an exchange on Twitter. I said, wallets love me, wallets hate me, people love me, or something like that. And You can't really see it because of the way I lit myself. Let's see. Can you see it? Yeah, see? I'm wearing it. I'm wearing the shirt. Thank you, by the way. Nils, I'm here to watch and read what other people drink. You don't have to drink to watch this stream, by the way. You can just enjoy the stream and talk to other people and learn stuff. We got Nils here. The slider is back. Loves. Nice. Of course, the slider shot. Always like the slider shot. It's completely wireless, by the way. We've got the Z6. Here, I'm going to switch the bourbon cam onto the other stuff over here. There we go. How's that? Well, that's kind of working. Come on, Fuji. Where are you? All right, so here we go. So we got the Z6 on the Rhino Arc 2, and that's transmitting wirelessly with the Mars 300. And it's also on top of just a regular impact rolling stand, so I can move it up and down vertically really easy. And I've got an extra little impact support arm to kind of hold the whole thing together. So that's what the Z6 is doing over there. And this is what it looks like. Boom. It's also wireless, so if I need to, I can just, pick it up and take it off somewhere. And we got a super chat, Jake Sloan, to help with the electric bill from all your lights. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for that $5. That is the second super chat that my channel has ever received. The first one by Original Bow, not to be outdone by $10. Thank you guys for showing up and paying my electricity bill, which clearly is a problem. I do have solar, but it doesn't help. It kind of helps. I got like 25 panels. Scapo, if you ever want to collab on high-speed stuff, you own and operate a Phantom high-speed camera. That's cool. You know, I do have some ideas for some high-speed stuff for testing the flicker of certain lights. Which is, I review lights, so that seems like the most interesting way to use a Phantom high-speed camera, because I have a thing, the UPR Tech CV600, and that's supposed to, it measures the, does this light flicker or not, but I'd love to measure it with a Phantom camera. I think that'd be really interesting. Let's see, scrolling up here, getting behind on these comments. I got another super chat, Scapo with a third super chat, $2. The first $2 super chat, by the way. Thank you, sir. Yeah, the bourbon cam. I'm almost out. I may need to pour a second one. Need to be careful. My wife might be watching. Rolling stands are an inspiration. Dude, the rolling stands are where it's at. You really need to have everything on wheels when you have a space as small as this one. They make a huge difference in the mobility of one, because all this gear, all this stuff, it gets heavy. Like carrying everything, it lights weigh a lot, and then you got VNAT batteries, and then you have like the Rhino and then a slider and all these things, and then tripods, they weigh stuff, and they're usually on rubber stoppers. Just being able to like undo a caster brake, push it, and then slide it up a bit and just lock everything real easy. It's faster and it's easier. Aaron says, paying my electricity bill with super chats, an excellent game to play. I don't know if that would go as well as I wanted it to. I don't know. Sure, let's just try it. If you want to pay my electricity bill with super chats, I appreciate you. But it's not necessary. You guys can just hang out. I'm not begging for money or anything. Let's see. Is this a if we pay you drink show? Yes, it is. For anyone that would like to put a $50 super chat, I'll take a shot in honor of Photo Joseph, who did the same thing. Not necessary. So I guess I already went through a lot of the issues I have with these toxic businesses and toxic relationships. A lot of the companies that I work with and the stuff that I review on my channel, for the most part, all have lovely relationships. They're all very friendly to creators, and working with them is a treat. And a lot of times I'm the first creator that a lot of these companies work with. So I need to kind of usher them into the new era of working with creators, because a lot of these companies that make lighting instruments, for one, and I think I'm kind of repeating myself from last time, is they've never worked with a creator before because nobody reviews lights. I mean, except for like me, Curtis, Gerald Undone a little bit, and a couple others. There's New Layer, and I mean, there's like 5 to 6 people on YouTube that actually review lights, and nobody reaches out to these companies to actually review their new products all the time, with exception to like Aperture and Godox, which are both great companies, by the way. We got a comment from Nils. What content did we miss all over in the dead room? I don't know. Is the room super dead right now? I mean, I think the audio is about the same as last time. Do you mean the previous studio that had all the sound panel stuff all over? Well, not the sound panel, the cheap sound foam lining 90% of the walls. Yeah, I reviewed a ton of lights, so many lights, and that's where I kind of started becoming the light guy. I think that's what he's talking about. Oh no, does he not realize he left us hanging in a dead YouTube stream? Oh, what? Is it dead? My stream isn't dead, is it? If you guys can hear me, let me know. I'm going to type right now. Can you guys see me? Am I live or am I dead over here? I'm super confused. Okay, this one is live. All right. Oh, shoot. You guys were waiting for me in another stream? God damn it. Okay. YouTube, Creator Studio. I'm still figuring this thing out. I need to go over to that stream. I guess I scheduled 2 streams at the same time. Okay. Creators, YouTube. All right. I'm going to have someone teach me how to undo, schedule streams properly, I guess. Yeah, I have 2 live streams going on. That's great. Cool. I'm going to delete one stream. Hopefully it doesn't delete this current stream. Delete forever. I think it deleted it. We're possibly good now. Cool. That's cool. Thanks for telling me, guys. Really appreciate that. Wow, I feel awful. And Photo Joseph, I owe you that drink, by the way. Thank you. Let's hop over to Drink Cam. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. By the way, subscribe to Photo Joseph. He does a stream every Wednesday as well, and he does excellent content on all of the streaming technology that Blackmagic is coming out with. I'm pretty sure he's sponsored these days. Somehow he got his hands on the ISO super early. But he did this awesome video with this extremely talented musician where he was live switching and showing you all the features of the Atom Mini ISO. It's an incredible tool. I don't want it. I've got his old Atom Mini Pro. He sold it to me. So thank you for that. All right. So what did I miss while I was trying to figure out what the heck happened to my other stream? Let's see. This one is live, but there's a second one out there. I appreciate you guys telling me that, by the way. Good conversations over there. Well, thanks for showing up, I guess, to the old one. Yeah, I'm still alive here. All right. We're back now, officially, I think. Why would YouTube even allow streaming 2 at the same time? Actually, that's an interesting question. Photo Joseph did that earlier today. He was live streaming, and then he directed people over to a premiere that he did at the same time, and then everyone left to that premiere. And then he, afterwards, everyone popped back into the live stream. But I think that is a practical case for having 2 kind of a live stream and a premiere at the same time, is telling everyone on your stream to go watch a premiere. That was clever. Really clever, by the way. All right, enough talking about Photo Joseph. This is the Tommy Calloway channel. Going back into the B cam. Curtis Judd is like, Photo Joseph is like the granddaddy live streamer. His are amazing. Yes, his are amazing. I think he means his live streams are amazing, but I like the way that that's worded. Scapo, by the way, what is your business email? Don't see it listed anywhere. Do you normally interact with brands, creators via Instagram? Yes, I do. And also, you can find my email on my channel if you go to the About page and you click the reCAPTCHA thing, and then it'll show you my email. I try to make it so, I don't get as much spam as most people usually get, but, people get through. But yeah, I also talk to people on Twitter and Instagram. I'm super responsive there. Photo Joseph, I have done dual live streams. It's pretty cool. GD O'Reilly, because YouTube. Yeah, Photo Joseph says, thank you to Curtis. I'm reading up on this. Is there a program you guys use to keep up with all the comments so you can click and read the next comment on your stream live? Because I'm having trouble keeping up sometimes. That'd be good to know. I know Curtis has this whole setup where he has the comment show up on the screen with the username and the profile photo. I don't know what he does for that. It's pretty cool though. Skeeter Jones, message retracted. I guess he had a question and then he didn't have a question. So thanks for trying anyways. Jake Sloan, Scapo, another really important thing is use an email in the business email section of your channel that is not connected to your YouTube account. That is great advice. Recently, another fellow YouTuber and friend, Lee Zavitz, his channel, he was hacked kind of. Also, what is it when you're fishing for, I've had some whiskey, so I forgot the exact term for it. Well, anyways, he was tricked. He had this long conversation with another company who, someone was posing to be as this other company, and they fished all his email and, basically by sending him a video file that he was supposed to watch. Social engineering, of course. How could I have forgotten? Social hacking. I like that better. I'm going to say that. Even though I know the term is social engineering, I prefer social hacking. I think that sounds fun. So he was social hacked. They sent him a thing that said, these are the details of your contract. And then he opened it up, and then it basically created a browser. It opened that browser, and it cloned his existing Chrome setup and then sent all the cookies over to the receiver or the hacker. They had even, spoofed the email address of the company of a real person who was actually at the company he was trying to interact with. So there was no way for him to know, and the only way to know is to, as Aaron would know, he's the guy that was basically consulting Gerald and Dunn on how do you get around this, is you need to only open your emails in a sandbox and then have a separate email for every single thing that you do. And you need to have secret passwords that are made up of granules of sand that are aligned in particular directions. You need to take a picture of that sand and then upload it and then get the MD5 hash and use that as your password. And that's the only way you'll be safe. Is that right? Did I get it right, Aaron? I don't think it's that complex, but you basically need to. So two-factor is not the answer, because there's now SIM cloning. People can clone the SIM card of your phone and then basically call or fish out, social engineer your phone number. Be like, hey, I lost my phone somehow. Give me a new phone, and then they send you a new freaking SIM card, and then they use two-factor authentication. They get the their authentication information to reset your accounts. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, and I think that people are becoming more aware that how big of a problem it can really be. So pay attention, be careful, and don't open suspicious emails. Just be careful. That's all. More comments here, and that's why you use a VM. Yeah, only open emails in a VM. See, this is the problem. If you go to Gmail in a VM, and then you see an attachment and you click on it and open it, you're still logged into your Gmail account with that VM, right? So it's really difficult to get around all the issues that hackers are coming up with these days. A physical key is one of the better things you can do, is getting an actual, there's a bunch of different keys. I'm sure you guys are going to tell me what they are. I think I'm probably going to get one pretty soon. Aaron, I'm going to make a YouTube video about this because there's so many layers to this. You know what? I'll watch that video and I'll tell people to go watch it if they want to protect their channel. But also, it's whiskey time. So if you guys are wondering, this camera setup, this is the Fuji X-T3 with a 16-55. Back there, The Z6 stopped recording. So that's what the Z6 does. After 30 minutes, it turns off. If anyone else owns a Z6 and they know how to make that camera not turn off after 30 minutes, like, I'm not saying it stops recording. I'm saying it completely turns off. Let me know. Is it something you can configure? Because that'd be really useful. Because this happened twice on my last live stream. Photo Joseph, I'd wager if you turned your channel towards security, you do really well. Yeah, but security is boring. I like playing with lights and cameras and stuff. Those are way cooler. But, whatever. That's just, to each their own. I used to do content on hacking and programming and stuff, and that did do super well from a viewer's perspective and from an AdSense perspective, but not from anything else. There's so much more opportunity as a person who reviews lights and camera stuff and microphones and teaches in that sector. It's I don't know. It's more fun. I've actually been talking to Aaron about this a little bit lately, how I work 12 hours a day as a software developer and programmer. But it's soul draining, and I'd love to get into more professional paid content creation somehow. And I've got a very strict schedule where almost every minute of my entire Monday through Friday week is budgeted where I need to be doing something. This stream is actually a miracle. I just don't want to do that forever. I've done it for over a decade, and I'd much prefer to play with lights and cameras and, figure out great ways for people to make better images. And there's something about having a crispy, beautiful image coming through a camera and being able to tell a story and teach people about stuff that you can do with a camera that nobody knows unless they see it. But everybody loves movies. The cinematic experience of being taken on an adventure through somebody else's mind. I love that. So that's what I want to do. We'll get there. Photo Joseph, I know how to fix the Z6. Buy an S5. Thanks for the advice, buddy. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Nils, combine it. Light patterns to secure your account. Photo Joseph, sorry, Tommy. That security comment was Aaron, not you. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. Scapo, yeah, I found you through your lights videos. Some really great insights. You could call them enlightening. All right. I'm glad people are finding me through lighting videos these days, because of course that's generally my focus. Oh, if you guys have questions about any of the lights that I'm using for the stream, please ask them, because that's kind of the goal, is to teach people about lighting and talk about an interesting kind of reserved topic that people don't generally in this niche make a video about, like the business end, or, just like, what's the topic of this stream is toxic business. Man, I covered all my points on that, but I'm sure that there's other things that I haven't talked about. The social engineering thing, or social hacking thing that Lee Zavis went through, I would call that toxic business for sure. There's so many things you need to know how to do, and so many things you need to know how to avoid to be a successful creator. It's challenging being successful. If everyone was successful, if it was easy to be successful, everyone would do it. Anyways, Scapo, I found anything your lights. Jake Sloan, I found Tommy Calloway through his Godox SL60 review. We were competing for views for about 30 seconds. Then he made the video about modding one and won the rave. Yeah, that was a good one. So I made a video how to mod the fan, or take the fan out of the Godox SL60W and replace it with a Noctua cheapo fan that was extremely silent. That video, gosh darn it, the Z6, I think it is just dead. I need to figure out why that camera stops doing what it's supposed to do. As you can see, it's drove me to emptying the bourbon a little bit. Back to the comments here. Nils coding. Let's see, where am I in the comments? Again, I guess I asked about if anyone has a program to keep track of comments, but I then lost track of those comments. So if anyone knows, let me know. Let's scroll up. Scott said earlier, I'm pretty new to constant lighting. A company sent me a studio light recently. So when I check out a I went to check out V-mount batteries. Surprised how pricey they are. Any thoughts, tips on V-mount stuff? All right. I'm sorry I missed you earlier. I'm going to jump into V-mount stuff here really quick. V-mount batteries, there are a lot of things to consider, but the most important thing, I think, and this is going to take a second as I walk over here, is to realize that I'm extremely biased now towards Bebob batteries because they all have a light on them, right? That's not the most important thing. I really like Bebob batteries because one, they are very tiny and they are little squares, right? I mean, you can stack them on top of each other really nice. They work great. They're durable. You can drop them 1.5 meters and they're fine. They've got twisty D-tap, so you can plug in a D-tap port either direction. They're waterproof. They're very punchy. This little battery here puts out 10 amps. Their bigger ones put out up to 16 amps. I like the Bebob micro batteries. They're my personal favorite. But there are other batteries that I also really, really like. Farseeing is a cheap brand of batteries that also have a little window on them that is always on, and it tells you exactly how long that battery is going to last at the given load currently. And that one works really well just for at-a-glance power. It's a bigger battery. It's not the small little micro batteries that I like so much. But the Bebob batteries are definitely not the cheap batteries. There's batteries you can get, like Intelitech. They sell the Pocket V batteries, which is they got a 98 watt hour Pocket V battery. That one has close to 12 amps of continuous output, and it's only $200, and it's the micro size. It's just not a cube, so it rolls around a little bit. That's like the cheap small battery that you can get. If you want something that is serviceable and has all the other different features, that's why I really like Bebob's V-mount batteries. All right, back up to the current comments here. So Jake was talking about how he found me through the SL60 video. I did a couple videos on the SL60, and then that one has just consistently grown for a very, very long time. It's still going, and I'm glad that I was able to kind of teach people about the Godox ecosystem, because when I was looking for a light, because I didn't know anything about lighting, and my neighbor told me, hey dude, you should buy some lights. When I asked him to review critique one of my older videos, he just said, you should buy some lights, because he was like a producer. So I did, and then I was trying to buy the Aperture 120D that everyone was talking about. I couldn't afford it. And then so I was researching competitors, and then I found Godox had just released the SL60. And so I bought one. It was like $120 at the time. They haven't figured out their pricing. I don't know, maybe come out a week earlier or something like that. And then I reviewed it, and then I threw up a comparison of that between the Aperture 120T, because I bought that also used secondhand for like $450. It was already beat up and everything, but it worked great. And that video did really well, and it really introduced me to lighting and why lighting is important. Because a producer who does it professionally told me, you need to buy a light. That was the only thing he said about my entire video, and I kind of took it to heart. I was right. He was right. And so I did buy lights. I bought a lot of lights. And then I started getting lights. And so here we are. We're lit. All right. Let's catch up to some of these comments. Program sucks. Hardware is so much less a pain. That's true. If you're going to write code, you have to think of the program and write it, and then film yourself writing it. If you're trying to do it for YouTube anyways. Hardware is just, there it is, You can figure it out. It's easy. Unfolding ideas. Same here. Found you swapping out the fan on the Godox 60. Hey, well, thanks for showing up, man. Appreciate you. Nils, I prefer coding. Who'd have thought? Some people do. To each their own. Aaron says, the more time I spend in video, the less time I want to spend in software. I 100% agree with that sentiment. Got the bourbon can there. Back over to this one. I'm going to turn the Z6 on one more time. Shutter, release. Oh. I figured out what happened with the Z, guys. The battery died. I've got another battery, but this is one of the reasons I want to get into rigging with VMAT batteries. I mean, having a camera die halfway through a stream is unacceptable to me personally. So I'm going to be making some videos on rigging out stuff. I also found a thing they sell in the UK only. It converts a DTAP to a USB-C, so it'll power something like the Fuji X-T3, indefinitely with a VMAT battery through USB power delivery, and I don't need to go buy one of those expensive power banks. I can just use all my VMAT batteries. So I'm going to be talking about that pretty soon. We got more questions here. Skeeter Jones, question for you. I'm looking for a barn door with egg crate to set up for quasars. I see yours in the back there. Is that a NAND light? Actually, Skeeter, this is the Ledgo Altitube. It's their new Altitube 80, I think is what it's called. It's from Ledgo, which is also a subsidiary of Nanlite, I believe. And it actually comes with its own little grid. Honey Crates and DOP Choice both make grids for this style of light. So I'm going to be reviewing it pretty soon, but I'm using this one for the kind of outline effect that I've got on me right now. I really like it so far. It is crazy bright. It's also not battery powered. It requires 28 volts of phantom power or AC power, just like the Aperture Nova, which I'm also using for the green background right now. Aaron says, Tommy, weird question. How far away from your back wall corner are you? I'm trying to get a sense of of creating a studio space. Well, from my back wall corner there, I don't know, 8 feet. This room is about 10 by 12 feet. It's 12 feet this way, 10 feet this way, roughly. And it's got kind of tall ceilings. I guess it's like maybe 9.5 foot ceilings. It's a very small room for the amount of stuff that I have. If I was reviewing lenses or just cameras or literally anything else, I would have such an easier time storing all of this stuff. But I review lights, one of the biggest friggin' things that I could possibly have picked to review. And so I had to build like this huge custom closet situation over here just to hold it all. I'm going to pan over there and move the light also, so you guys can get a sense if you haven't already seen. This is what I'm dealing with. All of those shelves are just holding basically lights. Oh boy. It is really just kind of ridiculous. So I tore out the closet that was in there, and you'll see this, or at least you'll see some of it in the studio rebuild video that I did a while ago of the whole situation that I had to build in there just to hold all my lights and stuff. I can't sell the lights after I review them because then I wouldn't have anything to, I'd be cannibalizing my future content. My mic is a little bit hot. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to figure this whole thing out still. So. How's that? Maybe that's a little bit better. I'm also kind of yelling into the mic. I'm excited. Nils, so I can do something cool when I get my Nova. Let's see, I probably missed a couple comments here. Man, I'm probably getting super behind here. Photo Joseph, this is a drinking hour. If you want to actually talk tech, you need to schedule earlier. Cheers. Of course, man. Cheers. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you. Still on the enlightening comment. Man, I'm super behind. All right. I'd love a video about creative uses for panel lights with RGB WW so I can do something cool when I got my Nova. There we go. Yes. I will be doing more kind of setups and interesting things you can do with full color lights very soon. There's just a few more reviews I need to do and then a couple showdowns, but we're going to get into how to use lights as opposed to just what is this light. And I think that that's going to be kind of like the next step for my channel, is teaching people about creating instead of just creating so you know what to buy. I think that's where the growth is going to start happening. Leroy DaCosta, what's your take on the Godox VL series of lights? That's a good question. I've got a couple of Godox's lights down here right now. I've got the UL, and then I've got the SL202, and then I have an FV. I'll be reviewing some of those lights pretty soon. I don't actually have the VL series, but I will be doing a review on 3 of the different Godox series lights very soon. Aaron, I've been considering packaging up the thing I use for YouTube comments as a browser extension so that it's easier for other people to use. You know, I would expect you, Aaron, as a developer to have made something for that. I'll use it. I'll download it as long as you promise that your extension is not going to steal my browser cookies. I'd appreciate that. Nils, YouTube could learn from Twitch tools here. I totally agree with you. And Nils says, you're very right on making content about code versus making content about hardware. Thank you. I understand the comment as working as hardware as a profession. Yeah, no, it's hobbies and professions. You know, they say when you do what you love, you don't work a day in your life. I used to love programming, and now it's just the thing that I do. I don't think that that's going to happen with filmmaking, but you never know. I don't think it is, though. Aaron says, okay, sell me on VMAT batteries. I always try hardware everything. I think that I'm probably a little bit behind, and you probably already heard all my cool talk about VMAT batteries. If you still want more info on VMAT batteries, I did an awesome video recently about the Bebob new 200 watt hour micro batteries. And I'm going to be doing a showdown pretty soon of the 4 to 5 different brands of VMAT batteries that I own. So I can kind of tell you a little bit about all of them. Photo Joseph, for what it's worth, I really despise batteries for anything not run and gun. I AC power everything in the studio. You know, I AC power all of my permanent lights for the most case. Actually, I take that back. I put VMAT batteries in everything that I can if it moves. If it's on wheels, it's on VMAT batteries for the most part. Like I have the Aperture 120D Mark II over there. That's AC power. The 120D Mark II over here behind a softbox, that's AC power. My Falcon Eyes overhead light, AC power. And a couple other lights are AC power if either they don't have the VMount option yet or they're fairly permanent, then they're AC power. But everything that I can, I'll just stick a VMAT battery on because it's so convenient to just be like, I'm done with this. And then, kind of push it out of the way. Because this is on VMAT power. This is my wireless monitor. It's from OC. It's their new 15-inch model. And it's got the Hollyland Mars 300 on it, on the back. And this is the Mars 300 Pro, the new one. And that one is receiving USB power from the monitor, which is receiving VMAT power from the Bebob 150 Micro. And so this entire thing can just be lifted off and taken anywhere. This is just the headphone jack right here. I mean, I can just stick this thing wherever I want, but this is coming from the Blackmagic Atom Mini Pro multi-view out port. So this is how I'm monitoring myself. I'm not plugged in anywhere. These headphones just come with me. See? There you go. I can stick this wherever I want. I'm going to stick it right there, though, and I'm going to throw the headphones on that. So this is the monitor from OSEE. OSEE. I actually have a review of that one coming up probably in the next week or so. Yeah, I really like it. I'm really, really liking it. All right, let's see more comments here. I'm considering packaging the thingies. Oh, I already read that one. Dude, I need that thing that you do to read comments. I'm super falling behind here. Falling in love with wireless HDMI. Yeah, exactly. See, just what I just talked about. Let's see. A super chat. Thank you, Scapo. Sent you an email. One of our cameras shoots 100,000 frames per second. Totally prepped for some extreme flicker tests. Look forward to chatting. You do great work. Oh man, I super appreciate that. I really hope you're in the Los Angeles area because that would make it possible. And I'm very interested in checking all of the, $1,000 plus lights that I have for flicker issues, and also comparing the tool that I use to measure flicker. How accurate is it? Because if we have 100,000 frames per second, we can actually measure that. That's really interesting. Cool, man. I'll reply to that. I really appreciate that. Leroy, what's your thought on the Godox Veal? I read that one already. Skeeter, speaking of the Nova, any idea when they will be in stock? So I have a link in the description of this video with the Nova. If it lets you buy it, I am an affiliate for Aperture now, and you should get, you should have an easy time receiving your light. Because if you buy it directly from Aperture, generally the stock is going to be better than if you buy it from another affiliate, or another, place like, I don't know, B&H or Adorama or whatever. So if you use that link, there's a chance that it'll arrive faster. I don't know all the details because I forgot. But anyways, there you go. I have no idea when they're going to be in stock, but hopefully it's soon. I don't work for Aperture, so I would have no idea. See, they're supposedly in stock directly at Aperture. They were yesterday. Used Tommy's like, oh, there. Shoot, Niels, man, thank you. You are the hero here. Really appreciate you. Thank you. Unfolding Ideas. Thanks for the stream, Tommy. I got to go now. I'll catch the rest of the stream later. Thank you for showing up. I really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that has shown up here. And my other camera died too now. Darn. So now we just got the 1A cam. I'm going to change the zoom here so you guys feel like, things are moving around. How's that? Am I in focus? I guess I could use the focus tools here. Let's do this. Program view. Let's do that. And focus peaking. Yeah, I'm in focus. Kind of. There we go. So yeah, this is actually a full monitor. You can do focus peaking and false color and all that stuff. That's what I use it for. All right, back to multi-view. There we go. There we are. Aaron says, haha, the security conscious perspective is always good call. Browser extensions are dangerous. Absolutely. Got yourself a video boombox with that setup. Pretty much, yeah. Video boombox. You just carry it on your shoulder. And thanks, Niles and Cool and the gang. All right, dude, we are caught up on comments. If anyone else has any questions, you guys let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to take a sip of this. Now, what's interesting is the Z6 has died. The Fujifilm X-T3 has died. Do you know what's still trucking and still has more than half its battery life? The Lumix GH5. That has been my A-cam. I pre-ordered that thing a long time ago. Now, I know we talk about lights here, and everybody loves lights. Lights first, lights fam, whatever you want to call it, lit fam. Is that what we're doing now? Are we the lit fam? All right. All these other cameras that are super powerful, super awesome with great autofocus and everything, like they die. Their batteries last, 30 minutes, 40 minutes? The GH5 will last an hour and a half on just the regular battery that I bought with it. Like the same, that's interesting. Really interesting. Something to think about. You can get a GH5 used for like $950, roughly. Such a stellar cam. All right. We got some more comments here. Nils, here's a question. Is it bad if I don't have a shotgun mic and use some dynamic USB mics, since that's hip when streaming? No, dude. You can use any mic that makes your voice sound better than not using a mic. Anything's an improvement, dude. Dynamic mics are fine. You don't need this. This is actually non-standard. I'm using a shotgun mic right up in my face in the frame. I mean, these are supposed to be used, pointing down at you, out of the frame usually. It works in this situation, I think, just because it's a great microphone and I'm really close to it. It will work like this, but most people use dynamic microphones because they sound better and they reject outside noise better. And when you're live streaming, it's a lot more difficult to process your audio. But I think Curtis Judd, there's probably a video on his channel exactly the best way to do that. Or Photo Joseph probably has tutorials how to use the sound processing with, if you're using a Blackmagic Atom, software control panel. But any mic will do. You can make a cheap $50 microphone sound amazing. It's just, the proximity effect, and then, it's how hard are you trying to push these microphones? Let's see, Nils. All right, I answered that question. GH5 for the win, Photo Joseph. And then we got Nils mic question. Aaron says, I can't go wrong with a GH5. That's right. I was considering getting another one just for the live stream setup, so I didn't have to move everything. By the way, tripods. Tripods are awesome. Did you know that B&H Photo had on their deal zone? It's gone now, but you could buy the Sachler Flowtech legs for $999. They're $500 off for a couple hours. I posted it on my Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, then you probably didn't see it, but I got one. So those are awesome. Best tripod that exists, period. You could just resell it for $1,300 if you wanted to. It's a $1,500 piece of sticks. Nils, I was thinking about buying the Rode Shotgun, but I really do. You know what, dude? The Rode Shotgun is awesome. Here, I'm going to talk into it real quick. Turn this off. All right, so I'm talking into the GH5 now. This is the Rode VideoMic NTG, and it is such a good microphone. I'm up on it now, like about 6 inches away. Can you hear me now? Cool. So I had this whole awesome speech. So what you heard me when I was up on the microphone over there, that was a $200 microphone just plugged into the GH5. And then right now you're listening to the MKH416 plugged into the Mix Pre 3 Mark II with noise assist. You're listening to thousands of dollars of audio equipment now. And now you're listening to the Rode VideoMic NTG plugged into the GH5, just going straight through the HDMI that's plugged into the camera itself. That is what I was trying to do. So if you're hesitant about getting the Rode VideoMic NTG, it is an extremely capable microphone. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars to get good sound. Photo Joseph, this looks like an epic diatribe. Yeah. An MKE 600 will get you 90 to 95% of the way of the 416. I love the 416. I got mine used off of Craigslist for $700 years ago. And I took a screwdriver, I took the screwdriver, I opened it up, and I made sure that it was just, it was an authentic MKH 416. There is a little more hiss on the NTG one. Yeah, it's plugged into the GH5, and the GH5 has HDMI going through to the Atom Mini Pro, and the Atom Mini Pro out to YouTube. And also I've got noise assist on the Mix Pre 3 Mark II, which, as Photo Joseph knows, the noise assist is incredible. it cuts. I mean, I can have a loud air conditioner going, and it just cuts it out, and you just hear my voice, and it's awesome. Aaron, there's a little more background. I just read that comment. All right, I think that we are getting caught up on the comments, and we are just about finished here with the stream. We're past an hour and 12 minutes now. I think that it's time to kind of wrap this one up, and I want to thank all of you guys for showing up. If you were wondering about any of the lights or the gear that I was using for this stream, you can go back to the beginning of the stream, watch it. I told you kind of all the lighting setup. The goal is to kind of learn something. We'll talk about some stuff, learn about some stuff, talk about some business and YouTube or whatever. I'm not sure what the next week's topic will be. If you have any suggestions, feel free to shoot them in the comments. But it's going to be about lighting, that's for sure. And let's see if I can play some music out for this one, because I'm trying to, increase the production quality of this little stream here. Next time, I think I might have the VMount battery setup done so I can have the back slider cam going a little bit longer. But I'm going to play myself out. Tungsten lights. Yeah, I have an Airy, and I've got some Roscoe gels coming pretty soon too. I've got some Airy lights, and I've got some gels coming soon. So we will talk about tungstens very soon. There's a video in the works for that. And regarding music, let's see. Nils said thanks, Heart, regarding music. I guess you're welcome. We're out. Thanks for showing up, guys. If you're lit or not, either way, I'm glad you guys are here.